Welcome here inside the broadcast booth for our new and newly featured post-game show here. It's at Cominco Arena. I'm Ben Phillips, joined here with Rob Squires, and we are talking about a very emphatic, another statement win here for the Trail Smoke Eaters, 6-2 here on home ice, Rob. After a bit of a rocky start that we've talked about, they come out, they get some early goals, and a very positive performance.
Couldn't have asked for much more for the Smoke Eaters coming home after a rough start in the first few games here at home, hit the road, and then come back and have a statement game here, so to speak, for the home fans, and really put the fans at ease, I guess, for some of them that were starting to worry about what they were going to see here from the Smoke Eaters this season. Well,
we knew that the Smoke Eaters had the talent. We knew that it was only a matter of time of finding the right line combinations and the confidence that we've talked about. The confidence is huge. They got a lot of confidence last night with a 5-1 win over the West Kelowna Warriors, and they kept that going right into tonight. They didn't take any time in coming out and showing the Victoria Grizzlies that this is their home and getting a home win. We've seen some hot starts from this team. We've seen a lot of energy and a lot of effort early on, but the goals just haven't been going in. The bounces haven't been going their way. Tonight, as well as last night, that changes.
Yeah, right from the start. Obviously, we'll get into it in a bit here, but the confidence and the offensive part of this team being able to work their way through the neutral zone and be able to create chances was so much different here tonight than it was in the first games that we saw. They just, right through the lineup, whether it was Johnson or Ozar, it doesn't matter which guy it was, you could see that they were able to creatively think and had more confidence of where they were going to do, what they were going to do with that puck. And, they made the most of it here. They got on the board quickly and just ran with it here tonight. It's fantastic to watch.
Well, we will be joined with one of the assistant coaches from the Trail Smoke Eaters. Jeff Tamley might come up himself. Not sure who it is, but one of the coaching staff, members of the coaching staff, will come up and join us shortly here. But we'll start by running through the goals here on our post-game show. Thanks for joining us. Again, you can send in your messages to Facebook, Twitter, on YouTube. There should be a function to send in some questions. So if you want to ask us something about the game or just provide your input, we're happy to hear from you. We'll start with the goals. To start with the first one, it didn't take long for the Smoke Eaters to get things going. 2:36 into the game, Owen Ozar takes the pass here from Connor Sweeney and makes no mistake.
Yeah, you see him. He looks off the pass and just rips one glove side there. A little bit of the bar and down, and you know what? You can see there's the excitement there, getting that one here at home. Pretty pumped Ozar there with that goal, and that got them just rolling here early in the game.
Well, and Ozar he continues to be the most consistent player from this squad.
Most consistent, and you know what, we mentioned it when they announced the Energy Star here with Krisky here tonight, but Ozar's been that player almost every night. He's been the player that's been the consistent, legs have been moving, getting in on the forecheck, creating offensive opportunities, and tonight he gets an opportunity himself and doesn't make a mistake and puts it home.
Well, the Smoke Eaters fans were barely in their seats when that first goal came in, and well, only a minute 20 later, they get their second one, and Kent Johnson with his second of the year, as he makes no mistake going at 4:01 of the first period. Kent Johnson with the second goal from DeMiro and Kalela.
Well, DeMiro feeds it to him there, and you can see he could have taken that shot as the defender went down right in front of him, but he doesn't. He pulls it to the backhand, and again, no mistake, high glove side. And there's the Smoke Eaters' 2 quick goals and had this place rocking to get things going.
Well, 2 quick goals. How about 3 quick goals? I'll do you one better. Only 57 seconds later, at 4:58 of the first period, they add one more.
Senko there gets that shot. It just pops up in the air. And look, nobody knows where it is. It just lands there. And then finally, it's Krisky right on top of it there. Just him and Wood kind of found it at the same time, but Krisky able to slide it in and puts them up 3-0. And wow, what a start for the Smoke Eaters right out of the gate.
And a perfect start. And Jeff Tamlin talked to us in the pregame show about how he was telling us, expect a lot of energy from these guys. And, on the bus ride home last night, they get their first win. There was a lot more energy from the guys who were a lot happier with their performance, being able to score some goals. And they came out and they showed the home fans that they were able to score some goals.
Well, it must have been pretty loud. I heard you didn't get much sleep there last night on the bus. You said that they were pretty pumped coming home here to try to, again, before they go on what's going to be ends up being quite a long kind of time away from Cominco here. They really needed to make a statement here at home, and after coming off that big win last night and getting the quick start they did here tonight, they did exactly that, and there's a lot of happy fans here in Trail tonight.
Well, we'll jump ahead to the second period. Victoria would get one at the later in that first period. Actually, we will stay in the first period. I forgot. Costello got his in the end of the first. Braden Costello with the turnover. Makes no mistake. No,
jumps on the puck just inside the blue line there for the Grizzlies. He didn't have to do a whole lot. Just kind of broke in strong and fired one that the netminder for the Grizzlies. Still in goal there was Wood. Still in there, even though he had a few rough ones there to start the game. Was still in. Costello gets his first in the league here, and he had a strong night all night. I think Costello was one that also could have been there for that Fortis energy, because he's in on the forecheck. He had another couple of good opportunities, making some moves towards the net. I really liked his game, and it was much improved over some of those games that we saw maybe earlier in the year too.
Well, Smoke Eaters finished the first period up 4-1. They outshot the Victoria Grizzlies 8-6. And then in the second period, they didn't let Victoria get back in it at all. Powell Connor with a great play. Delayed penalty on the play, backs all the way up and brought it back in. Johnson goes across the seam there. Powell Connor roofs it.
Yeah, we kind of see the end of that one there, but Johnson again drags that puck close to his body, and he's able to draw some defenders towards him, finds Connor, and Connor with a great goal there. He's pretty happy about that. And Johnson, just like he did the other night with, I think they credited him 5 assists, dishing the puck here tonight, and you could see that the defense and the defending players in the defensive zone for the Grizzlies really couldn't quite decide which way they wanted to go. Did they want to attack him? Did they want to cover the other players? And when Johnson was able to recognize which and how much space he had, he was dangerous both ways, if he had to dish it or if he had to shoot.
Well, and Johnson coming off a very impressive weekend. I think his name will be thrown into the hat for BCHL Player of the Week. Haven't looked too much around the league of what everyone else has been doing, but gets 4 assists last night in West Kelowna, and then he just caps off his night. Look at this goal. He looks up, looks at where he's got it. He's on the 2-on-1 here, and he just drags it and roofs it, pops the water bottle. What a goal.
Beauty goal there. And you know what? It's set up from the earlier one. He does, it's almost, he brings it in. He didn't quite have the guy streaking to the net this time, but as he pulls that in, the defense is starting to worry. Is he going to shoot that, or is he going to pass that over? They can't kind of close him down too quickly there, or he's going to make them look a little silly and walk right around him. So that time he fires it, makes no mistake, top shelf, bottle goes flying, and it's a beauty goal there for Johnson.
That was his second goal of the night. He did have the assist again just before that on the Powell Connor goal. And that would do it. 6 goals tonight for the Trail Smoke Eaters. Scoring summary brought to you by Martech Electrical. They finished on the shot clock 27-19, the final on the shots for the Trail Smoke Eaters, who did let one go in early, 58 seconds into the third period. Victoria would get one past Donovan Buskey, who was very good tonight. Didn't have to do a whole lot, but was steady when he needed to be, and gets the win, his first of the year.
And there's the goal there by the Grizzlies. You can see it's a lot of traffic there in front as Murphy Johnson's right on top of him there with the Grizzly forward. And he gets a piece of it, but it landed behind him and unfortunately right on edge and rolled into the net in behind him. But didn't face a lot of pucks here tonight. Credit to the Smoke Eaters defense, kind of limiting opportunities there. He did have to make a few other saves. I can remember a couple of coming from his left to his right and making a couple of big saves, whether it was with the body or having to keep his pads on the ice there. Made a really nice one there as they tried to go around him with it. And Buskey played really, really strong here tonight. Didn't have to win the game himself, as they gave him quite a bit of offensive support here tonight. But definitely a big one for him to get that first win in the column as well.
And you touch on not having to win them the game. It was Jeff Tambellini has talked to us numerous times over the last little while, and the goaltenders have been doing a lot for his side. As Buskey again was very good here tonight, but they weren't getting the run support. They were scoring 1 or 2 goals, and he was saying that in the BCHL, it's very rare that you can win games by a score of 2-1 or a score of 1-0. And they talked to their group after another one goal performance Friday night in Wenatchee, and they came out last night in West Kelowna with a dominant performance, went 4 for 6 on the power play last night, and then here tonight just kept that going. You could see right from puck drop that they had the confidence, and they looked like the team that we saw, I think, in the first game of the preseason before LaPointe got injured.
Yeah, and it's a combination of a couple of things there, I think, for the Smoke Eaters. The offense, we knew it was going to come. There's too much skill on that roster to not have some offense, but they ran into some really good goalies here in the first handful of games, whether it was with Penticton, Salmon Arm. They ran into a really hot goaltender down in Wenatchee. It was just, a combination of a few things there, and now, with a couple of big, 11 goals now in the last 2 games. We're seeing that offense, and hopefully that continues as they head out on the road here for a little bit.
Well, we were hoping to get one of the assistant coaches come up here in the booth, but it doesn't look like they will make it up. So we'll wrap things up here pretty quickly. Quickly go through the 3 stars again. Max Krisky was the Fortis Energy Player of the Game. And then the clean sweep for the Smoke Eaters. Owen Ozar getting the 3rd star of tonight's game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Jeremy DeMiro continues his hot performance this season. Over the last 2 games. A lot of the Smoke Eaters veterans have been stepping up. DeMiro gets 2 more assists tonight, gets 6 in the last 2 games. He was tonight's 2nd star. And a guy who we've talked about quite a bit, Kent Johnson, 7 points here in the last 2 games. I think it's good enough for BCHL Player of the Week. A emphatic goal there in the 2nd period. 3 points here tonight, tonight's 1st star.
And you know what? A great performance by Johnson over the weekend for sure. The points, the ability to make things happen, the ability to draw players and create opportunities. But I really like the game of DeMiro, not just tonight. I didn't get to watch him last night, but he did get a bunch of points. But even prior to that, DeMiro was a player that in pretty much every game, he had a few rushes up ice. He was trying to create offensive opportunities, and it starts from that side. And it's great to see him getting the rewards now with getting a few goals last night, a couple of assists last night, and again a few assists here tonight. So,
well, the Smoke Eaters go on the road for a little bit. They are in PG next weekend, and then have the showcase October 4th and 5th in Penticton. Aren't back home until they play Nanaimo October 18th back here at Cominco. Well, thanks for joining us here on the post-game show. For myself, Ben Phillips, Rob Squires. It's a emphatic 6-2 win here for the Smoke Eaters. They've now got 2 wins on the road. They'll look to carry that into next weekend when they travel up to northern BC to take on the Prince George Spruce Kings.